Yeah, the word is fresher, you know, from the Wilder fight and the comeback fights, etc. I would say, people always say to me, "What's the secret? What's the secret?" If there is a secret, I would say the secret is that my system has a fantastic balance between enjoying training, yet effective training, and I believe that that's really reaping. That's what Tyson's reaping the rewards from. About his weight, yeah, of course, you know, you're not going to lose that amount of weight overnight. So of course it took time and it was a long process, and we needed to fit in recovery time and things like that, and everything had to be documented, and we need to know the stats and facts and details of everything so we can look back and make sure that there is improvements, because it's okay to say, yeah, I think he's better, but we need to know and see it. So everything's jotted down, noted down, we keep track of everything, and like I say, it's reaping the rewards from it. Sometimes you have to, yeah, I'm very wary about overtraining. I think it's the worst thing that a fighter can do, so it's about finding the balance, and there's ways and means of making sure that a fighter doesn't overtrain through nutrition, through rest, through tracking things and making sure that things are done right. So that's what we do. No, of course not. Losing that amount of weight takes its toll of it. I wasn't saying it just for the sake of saying it. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. People will judge it against Otto Wallin, but people need to understand that you're not to underestimate Otto Wallin. I don't blame people because they've not been able to get the footage to see his biggest challenge so far, which was obviously the Adrian Granite fight, which I had to work hard to get. But I did manage to get it, and watching it, I can see that he's a world level boxer. Tyson's going to have to think, he's going to have to try things. While trying things, some things may not work, some things may work, but I believe as the fight goes on, Tyson will start to take over, because Otto Wallin is world level, but Tyson's elite level. He knows what's coming, he knows what he needs to do. I think Otto, but one thing we don't know is how Otto's going to deal with it. If he's getting dominated at long distance, is he going to think, okay, let me just try and get through it at long distance, not engage too much, or is he going to think, do you know what, this is my one and only opportunity, I'm obviously not getting the better of this fight at long distance, so I need to close the distance, but obviously that comes with a risk, so is he going to be willing to do that? I don't know. He's shown me that he's dedicated, the fact that he's moved to America for his training, so he wants it. Whether he's got the rest of the package in terms of heart, chin and bollocks, we'll see.
The type of guy he is.
He's an experienced man, so he knows how to deal with these fight weeks and that, and he's a grown man, he's an experienced man, so I don't need to hold his hand and tell him what to do exactly every step of the way. But we'll be looking to get the job done on Saturday. That's for sure.
He does like to make a statement, doesn't he?
He does, but I don't think it's going to be a statement type fight. I think it's going to be a boxing match, something that's going to, like I say, make Tyson think, and that's what he needs, if God willing, is to be successful, to go into the Deontay Wilder fight.
Yeah, the Wilder fight is one thing he says he's not thinking about this weekend and stuff, but you as his trainer, do you have to think about it in the back of your mind where he is and where he wants to be at that point?
No, the honest truth is we haven't discussed the Deontay Wilder fight. There's no need to discuss the Deontay Wilder fight, and that's the God's honest truth. We're here for Otto Wallin, that's what we're fully focused on. I know that's what people are supposed to say, but that's the truth, and we've got to get past Otto before we can even think about that.
I know you've obviously got your own job and fight to focus on tomorrow, but in 2 months, Deontay Wilder's coming here to fight Luis Ortiz in what could be a difficult fight. I'm just wondering what your opinion is of the rematch, and are you concerned at all that maybe he'll get knocked off and the rematch won't happen? Or
listen, I've got to give credit to Deontay Wilder, because he fought Ortiz, he signed up to fight Tyson, took a massive risk. He signed up to fight Tyson again, taking a massive risk, and he's taken a risk before in boxing Ortiz. So I've got to give him credit where credit's due. I think that he would have learned a lot from the last fight with Ortiz. I think that it would be tough for Ortiz to have improved from the last fight physically. Another hard fight, another hard training camp at his age. It's not exactly ideal, but Ortiz is a very good fighter as well, so be interesting to see. And that's what I'm saying. Listen, they've both in principle agreed to fight, but they've both got fights to get through first, so it's a long way off, because as I said before, Andy Ruiz going into the Anthony Joshua fight wasn't looked at. It was like, oh, he's boxing Andy Ruiz. A step-in, that's what he was, a step-in. I'm not saying that's what he is, but that's what he was,
right.
A step-in. He was looked at as a step-in anyway. And you know what happened, so don't overlook anything or anybody in the heavyweight division.
If they both do win their fights and they move forward with their rematch, how do you expect it to be different for Tyson? Maybe easy is not the right word, but better for him, being that he's been more active and he's had a lot more fights now going into the second fight than the first one.
Yeah, he's a lot more refreshed now, Tyson. You know, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, the weight loss took his toll, and you know, during the fight, I had that in my mind. I didn't know. I wanted rounds, when he boxed Pianetta, I wanted him to do the rounds so that I could see how he was going to do the rounds. Going into the Wilder fight, it was another step up, obviously, a massive step up. And I didn't know he was going to do the rounds at elite level at that moment in time. Mm-hmm. So I had to be very wary and very economical with a game plan for that fight. But I think that the rematch, God willing, both come through their next test. I think the rematch will be different, mainly due to Tyson's tank and freshness going into that fight.
And a lot of people seem to agree with you that your man can make better adjustments and be even better than the first fight. But do you think Deontay, has good athletic ability? Do you see anything he can do better in a second fight?
Yeah, of course, there's things he can do better, and I'm sure that he'll be working on it. He's got a good team. Jay Diaz, Mark Breland, and those they're good coaches and a good team. They've done a fantastic job with Deontay Wilder, and I'm sure he's fully motivated to want to improve. I know in the back of his mind, naturally he's going to have in the back of his mind, no matter what he says, in the back of his mind he'll be thinking there is potential for me to get made to look silly in this rematch. And he'll use that as fuel to make sure that he does look to improve and focus on where he can improve. So I know there'll be a better version of Deontay Wilder that was in the first fight, but I also know there'll be a better version of Tyson Fury as well.
Because it sounds like from what you were saying that you could let him really loose now.
The problem is with Deontay Wilder, you can't be reckless because he could knock this hotel down with the right shot. So you have to be smart, you have to be calculated, and of course it's always a big risk, but big risk, big reward. Well, if Rob's to be criticised, so am I to be criticised, because Tyson took a heavy knockdown in the Deontay Wilder fight and I didn't stop the fight. So if he's to be criticised, criticise me as well. He achieved a lot more than me as a boxer and as a trainer. So, and I know that he's got a fantastic relationship with Anthony Joshua. I know that nobody knows his fighter better than him, and I know that he would have had Anthony Joshua's health as his main priority. And I feel like, the moment that they realised that he wasn't fresh enough to be able to do what he needed to do, the fight was stopped. So, I can guarantee you that's come from people that never been in the sport, never been around the sport, someone just trying to make a story up.
I think it's because he's backtracked on the word competition now, saying I'm not qualified to say that. There's good chances right now. From a personal point of view, you have to make a judgment call. How difficult is that?
What he means is, he's been took out of context. What he means is, he knew that Joshua was hurt. Clearly he was hurt. I mean, boxers get hurt all the time. It's part and parcel of it. It's part and parcel of the sport, but footballers get injured, get concussed, but what do? They carry on playing. Ridiculous if you ask me. They're fighting men. That's what they get paid a lot of money to do. The moment that he wasn't fresh enough to fight as he needed to fight, the fight was stopped at the right point. And like I say, if Rob McCracken's under criticism, then I should be under criticism, because that was a heavy knockdown that Tyson Fury took and I didn't stop the fight.
Do you think the protocols need to be changed, adjusted, or?
I know that the Nevada are trying to put in the instant replay stuff and that. Listen, the sport's always evolving, everything's always evolving, us as humans are always evolving, so it's all good. Some things work, some things don't work, trial and error. We'll see.